Welcome to another Maz Play video. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be picking up where we left off with Wildmender. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're jumping right back in here with Wildmender. So where we last left off, we were sent on a mission to basically beat one of the bad guys, which is basically a crystallized form of one of the spirit guides that's basically helping you out with this game. Now we climbed up this mountain. There was a couple evil, I guess, entities, if you will call it, up here that we had to defeat. And most of that comes to just reflecting back whatever they're shooting at you to kind of destroy themselves. Now the ground is poisoned, that's why I'm getting a lot of poison damage right now. There's a couple items here that are buried in the sand, which we'll need to use a tool to dig up, the wooden spade. So that's why you'll see a lot of glowing symbols in the sand. So we're gonna go ahead and hit those and get whatever loot comes out of those. Now most of the items that we pick up are going to be used for crafting at some point. So we basically want to collect as many resources as we can. Now next to this stone, you're usually going to get a lot of mineral type resources, copper, or whatever resources needed in the game. So when you see those stones, those are going to be good markers for getting those kind of resources. There was something targeting me up there at the top of the hill with the laser, so we're going to go ahead and climb up there and take care of that. In the meantime, we just got to keep an eye on our health meter because it's dropping pretty fast because of the poison damage. But as long as we keep an eye on that, we should be okay. Now this is one of the kind of the mini fights. You just got to make sure you time it, reflect back the damage, and it's pretty easy. It's over, and then you can free the spirit that's in the center of this pink crystal, and that also unlocks more skills and more things that you can craft, and you just basically take it back to your guide. Now this whole area here is corrupted, that's why the ground's kind of like dried out and brown. So the corruption that has the red in it is the one that's really going to do a lot of poison damage for you. So as you can see, there are pieces around that crystal as I reflect back its lightning. These pieces here on the ground that have glowing red in the cracks, those are going to be giving you the most poison damage. The other areas here is just pretty much barren, but it'll give you some poison damage, but not as much as the ones that have the red tinge to them. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I eat and drink, see if I have anything to eat and drink that's gonna give my health back. But as you can see, my health is dropping pretty fast. I'm already at 0.03 on the health meter. If I end up dying, I'll just respawn right back at my tree at my base camp. So we're just gonna keep it moving. We got a couple other items here that we can dig up. Okay. Here, yep, and here's one of those stones, resource stones I was telling you. Just gonna keep digging up here, and there's nothing else glowing here, so we're gonna keep it moving. Now this is an interesting thing here. We got a little mushroom umbrella. You can run around with that in the desert, and that'll protect you from some of the sun rays, which just basically means that your water meter is going to slow down as far as drying out. You can also use that to float down if you're really high up, kind of like a little parachute. It's a quick way to go down rather than just climbing down slowly. I got a little bit of health, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I could take this guy out. Now again, two ways of fighting it. You can reflect back the lightning that it shoots at you, or you can use the copper mirror that I have equipped right now to blast some of the sun rays, I guess, off the mirror onto the item. That also works as well. My health is dropping really quick right now because of the poison, so there you go. I just died. All my loot will be there. I'm going to respawn here, take a look at my workbench, but I will have to make my way back to where I died if I want to get all my loot and pick that right back up. So we got some fresh growth here, some thorn tail pod, we got some root beer fungus. Now, a lot of these items, as you play the game and you revive this little oasis by your tree, as you can see, the water line goes out. You can see the really soaked areas of the sand. That's where you're going to get the most growth. Eventually, you get to the point where you can make this whole entire area a nice oasis garden with trees and plants and flowers and everything. But we're early stages of the game, so it's just going to come over time. All you can do is just kind of keep working up, spreading that water coming from the tree as far away from it so that you'll have some nice fertile sand to plant plants into. That teleport will also be active. As you can see, as I said in the first video, the soil that's a darker brown, that's the more fertile soil. The soil that's a lighter brown, that's just more sandy. So certain plants require certain types of soil to grow into. We're gonna make our way back over to where I died and see if I can pick up the loot that I dropped. Alright, here's all my stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and pick all that back up. Doesn't really give you like a grave marker per se, but it does give you like a little red icon on your compass, so you can find your body pretty quickly. As you can see, the sun's going down, so that means that I'm going to be able to retain my water level a lot longer, and I won't take as much damage from the heat of the sun. This is also a good time to come out so you can see the different kind of spirits that are out, and as you talk to the different spirits, you'll be able to get skill points depending on what color spirit you talk to, and with those skill points you'll be able to unlock new skills in the different branches. So we're just going to speed this up a little bit. We got something here that we can read and get a buff off of, and there we go, windbreak. Alright, so as you can see, it is nighttime now. That means that all the trees that are dead, they'll show up as a bright white, but over time you can unlock an ability to bring all those trees back to life, so they'll be showing a nice bright green color. This particular area here is a little bit dangerous, especially during the day, because it gets extremely hot here and your energy, your water level just kind of evaporates really quick. Even at nighttime, you have to worry about your water level just going down super fast. The closer you get to this desert, you don't do it, the faster the water drains. So you can tell this used to be kind of a river, but it has dried out over time, because they even have like a dock and everything. But as long as you stay on the side that's not the actual desert part, your water level won't go down as quick. So at this point, we'll just run around, see if we can find any loot in the ground, just dig up everything we can till our inventory gets full, and then we'll head back to base. This used to be a nice little gazebo, but it got overgrown over time. And we just found another teleport stone. It's broken, but we can restore it. Restore the ancient magic of the sigil gate, allowing travel between sigil gates. So that's what we need to unlock it. 7 essence, we only have 4. Now to get the essence, you basically have to beat the bad guys. That's pretty much the currency you get as you're playing. Alright, so we're going to speed this up a little bit, which is why you hear the music kind of speeding up. All these plants that you're seeing here are dropping different seeds. Sometimes you'll have these ghosts pop up. They don't really bother you unless you're kind of getting raided or some kind of like an attack, but you definitely want to get the seeds for all those different plants, because you can turn around and create your own little garden with the different dead plants you find, because those seeds will be able to sprout as long as the soil is nice and damp. So anything that's pretty common I'm usually going to run by, but the more unique plants I'm definitely going to pick those up, because some of them give you a really good food buff or water buff, just depending on what kind of plant it is. There we go. Sticks are always useful. Plenty of seeds over here. Definitely want to pick these up. And as you can see in the distance, there's a green marker. That's another little mini boss fight. So as we kill those, we'll be able to get some more experience points that we can use to unlock more waypoints. And randomly, you will find some ancient chests and some of these old abandoned gazebos, which will always have some pretty good items in them. This becomes more of an inventory management type game than anything, but as long as you kind of keep the things you need, get rid of the stuff that's kind of excess that you can get anywhere, you should be okay. The important thing is to keep things that's going to give you food and water. And if it loses water, just make sure it gives you quite a bit of food in return. So I'm going to top off my food and water levels as best I can. Maybe keep 1 or 2 seeds so that I can plant them back at my home base. Okay, we got like a little mini boss zone over here. You can tell I'm already being targeted because the red laser for the bigger boss, and then the red circle for the crystals. That's how you can tell if you're being targeted or not. So we'll see how much we can reflect back. There we go. If you block too early, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get some damage. Then you got those ghosts too that are trying to charge you, so there we go. Just got to get that perfect timing for the block. There we go. And you should be able to tell because it's going to give you a nice little flash before it shoots a laser at it. These other guys, we'll just take them out with our copper mirror. And whatever they drop, we'll just go ahead and pick up. So, this whole area, as you can see, is corrupted. That's because of the evil crystal spirits there that have taken over this land. But eventually you'll be able to get medicine to reverse this effect. But right now, early in the game, you pretty much just gotta avoid those areas. Once you clear these crystal enemies out, at least they won't be shooting at you, but this area is still poisonous to run on. So we freed this guy. Now we just gotta go ahead and release him. Which is basically get close enough until you see the button and then it'll unlock. But not sure why I was thinking that there was maybe a bad guy, because these crystals sometimes look like the other bad guys. So here's another spirit that we just freed. And now this zone is good. We actually have an active waypoint there in the distance. There was a green laser pointing up to the sky. So we can actually go and take that and teleport back to a sigil stone that's close to our base. Just took this guy out, but it left some poison as residue. And there's 2 more over there. We'll go ahead and take them out. Some really good XP that we're getting and some good items that they're dropping too. Okay, so we only got one or two, maybe one bad guy left, and the sun's starting to come up, so that means that my water level is going to start drying up pretty quick. And the spirits that I could see at night, I won't be able to see them anymore because they'll go away. Okay, that's empty. So let's take a look around here and see what kind of loot we can get. All right, so we were able to teleport home. Now, point of clarity here. Earlier, I said that to unlock the sigil stones, you have to get those purple essence points through defeating bad guys. You actually get those at nighttime when you go buy plants. There's like a kind of a purple essence spirit. As you get close to the plants, you kind of absorb that essence. And as you create your own garden, all the plants, especially at nighttime, will start spreading that essence to you and keep that maxed out. So that's how you'll be able to unlock the sigil stone, so that you can teleport around the map and you don't have to constantly run from point to point. Now, defeating a couple of the crystal creatures and unlocking some spirits, now my spirit guy has a quest for me, as you can see from the yellow exclamation point. So it's just a matter of me going there and talking to it. But in the meantime, I'm going to go around here and try to dig this trench a little bit deeper around my plant so that the water level fills up and goes a little bit further out. Again, the further I can push the soaked sand out, the water go out, the more space I will have to grow new plants. So we're going to see if we got any seeds here. And this is again the map, the dunes part of the map. This is a pretty decent sized map. I'm only unlocked one part of it, but you can see that fog of war just really expands way out there. And you can do a waypoint system here too if you want to mark something, so that it can put it on a compass. You can run towards it. So pretty useful. All the little circles with the lightning bolts in it are things you want to go and clear out. Usually those are going to be boss fights or bad guys. So, and then all of the little stones there, as you can see, those are usually going to be your sigil stones where you can teleport around. See how big this map is. This is me zoomed in. Zoomed out, it shows you just a little bit of the map. I mean, I've only unlocked maybe a quarter of it, but once I unlock the full thing, be a lot bigger. There's your nice little legend there, so it kind of gives you an idea what the sigil gates are. And actually, if I remember correctly, the stones are actually for sources of water. Just like I'm standing here with a source of water with my tree, those stones are all around the map, so you can kind of dig up and let water flow at those different stone markers, which means you can have a variety of different gardens all over the map as you unlock those water stones. Just looking at some of the construction items that I can build right now. Again, as I play, you'll be able to unlock even more things to build and make kind of like the best garden that you can think of. Here's the skill points I was talking about: survival, arcane, spiritual. Again, depending on what spirits you find, you'll be able to get points for them by talking to those spirits and getting those memories. Then you'll be able to put points into those different skill trees. And here is our journal entry that shows us all the main quests and side quests that we have, what we've completed, and what's still left to be done, along with our objectives. And of course, as you play, items, plants, and counters will all fill into the different journals, so you can see those different categories as well, and get some tips on how to beat certain monsters that you'll run into, as well as the different type of plants you unlock and the benefits they give you for food or water wise. So we'll go ahead and talk to this guy here because he's been waving at us. Turn in the essence that we got from saving it from the crystal. And as you turn in the different essences that you unlock from beating the bad guys, he remembers more and more, which means that he turns around and gives you more and more skills that you can unlock and things you can build. So that's kind of how you progress through the story, by doing the little objective quests that your spirit guide here gives you, all at the same time trying to increase the flow of water from your tree, from your water stones, and make your garden spread farther and farther out. Now, as you put trees down, that's going to also allow you to spread the moisture from the tree to allow you to build a larger garden with trees and flowers and everything. Eventually, you get to a point where you have a nice little deep pool of water surrounded by trees, which will block out the sun and, you know, really lower the damaging effects from the desert. Now, you can move everything down. Just because you put something down doesn't mean you don't have to keep it there. You can move it wherever you want. I have a nice little lean-to here, which helps when the sun's up, but the best time to play the game is at nighttime. Okay, so with us using our lean-to, we're able to advance the day to dusk, to the sun's down, so the effects won't be as harsh on you. We can go around and collect some wood from any old stumps, and also collect any essences that you'll see. And the essences, you'll be able to tell because there'll be a nice little purple light that just kind of floats around plants and living objects. And as you can see, anything that's not living will be white, anything that's living will have color to it. Now, you can revive this. Eventually you'll be able to unlock the skill to revive it, but sometimes it's best to just remove it completely if you need the wood. Same thing with these things. You can pick it up, you can relocate it, you can put it closer to the source of water so it kind of revives on its own. But sometimes if they're dead, there's not really much you can do but get rid of them unless you have that spell. Now you can see the plants that are getting water, they have like two bars. They have a health bar and a water bar. As long as the health and water bar are up, they'll be able to produce essence for you, which you'll use for unlocking more sigil stones and all that. So eventually we want this whole area around my tree to be a nice dark brown color, and then just filled up with different types of plants. So I think at this point, we have a pretty good start, and we're going to go ahead and put a bookmark in the video right now and come back, play some more, try to expand our oasis more and more, and continue on with the different quests that we get. So as usual, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps out the channel, and we will see you in the next video.